So it's a great pleasure to be with all of you this evening. I would like to share some of the innovations that have been there in the sector of agriculture that can revolutionize Indian agriculture. Friends, we have seen different stages of agriculture, and agriculture is one sector which has been, facing several challenges. One is vagaries of nature, whether it is rainfall, temperature, or disease and pest outbreak. These are some of the important natural challenges that agriculture faces. Then rising cost of inputs is another important challenge that the farmers are facing. And if you look at the institutional credit and its availability to the small and marginal farmers, it's another big challenge, because in most of the cases, small and marginal farmers, they end up in taking or borrowing credit from the external sources and not from the institutional credits. And then shortage of skilled labor is one of the most important burning problems in agriculture sector. Challenges arising due to changes in consumer preferences. Earlier days, whatever you sell in the market, you used to sell it, but it is not the case today. It's a consumer-driven market. Consumers, demand certain quality in especially in agriculture productivity commodities. And then the most important constraint in agriculture is the marketing or sale of the agriculture produced by the farmers. So these are some of the important challenges. I have not, listed all the challenges. You are all aware, you are in the agriculture sector. I have tried to just bring the summary of challenges that are being faced in agriculture sector. Next. So if you look at these challenges, how do we address these challenges? We would like to address these challenges with different innovations. Innovations in agriculture, they can be technological innovations, they can be service innovations, they can be product innovations, they can be market innovations, they can be institutional innovations, they can be policy innovations. What exactly we mean by innovations? Innovations are nothing but, it's an application of ideas, application of knowledge, application of new practices in a very different way, in a new way, in a particular context. These applications differ from one point to another point, one context to another context. The very purpose of an innovation is to create a positive change, bring a positive change that should help us to meet the requirements, the needs. And these challenges, these innovations should address the challenges, or they can help us in seizing the opportunities in the sector. Next. So I would like to touch upon few interesting innovations in agriculture. You must have heard about land resource inventorization technology. Friend, this is one of the most important technologies now being used in completely preparing the inventory of land resources. This has not been there in India and in most of the countries. So Karnataka is one important state in the entire country to completely, inventorize its land resources. Basically, we talk about morphological features, chemical features, physical features, biological features, hydrological features. We do a complete innovative studies of all the properties of the soil. We map them, we prepare atlases, and thus we help in coming out with a land resource inventory, which will help us in coming out with the decision support system. So this will help us in deciding what crops to be grown in which part of land. And this is now being done in the entire state of Karnataka. And this is an innovation that is now revolutionizing the entire sustainable utilization of land resources. We call this as land resource inventorization technology. Next. If you look at the soil DNA testing technology, friends, we have heard about use of DNA testing and other things only in medical fields earlier. And because these were very costly affairs, now of late, with the innovations in agriculture, we are now trying to use the DNA testing technology in soils also. Here, we would like to completely check the soil for interesting and important, pathogens, microorganisms that can bring, diseases to the crops, nematodes, pests, diseases, everything. So soil DNA testing technology is now being used in agriculture sector, especially in testing the soils, in understanding the difficulties associated with the soils, and then come out with the solutions. So DNA testing technologies now has been completely cost reduced, and this is a very cheap technology that can be used in agriculture sector. Next, micro irrigation. Yes. So we are aware of the importance of agriculture, water in agriculture. Basically, majority of the water, that's a fresh water, is now being used in agriculture. Around 70% of the fresh water is used in agriculture, and it is very, very important for all of us to meticulously use water in an agriculture production in a very systematic way. And earlier, we used to flood the soils with water. We used to open up canals and leave the water into the soil. Gone those days. Now, thanks to micro irrigation technologies, especially drip irrigation, sip irrigation, sprinkler irrigations, all these have been very, very useful to us. So this is a great innovation in efficient and effective use of water. So this micro irrigation technology has effectively enhanced the efficiency of water application, and we can irrigate large area of soil with a very limited water. It not only reduces the water usage, but it will also improve the quality of the. So thanks to people in Israel and other places who started working on these micro irrigation technologies, now we have completely automatized the micro irrigation technology. So we can definitely increase the water use efficiency to the tune of 90%, and this will help us in producing more from less water. So this is one of the most important innovation that has brought revolution in Indian agriculture. And now we are using irrigation for both irrigation as well as fertigation. We are also applying a lot of water soluble nutrients through micro irrigation. Next. Vertical farming technology. Of late, this is gaining a lot of importance, especially with reduction in the total area land available for agriculture, and that too very close to the big cities like Bangalore, Delhi, Chennai, and then Mumbai, places like this. Now there are farms wherein we are trying to produce, the valuable, vegetable crops or the horticulture crops in stacks, in layers. So this is called as vertical farming technology. In this case, in a limited area, in a limited light, with a limited number of labors, we can produce more quantity of vegetables, most important vegetables. And this is a very important innovation. So with a limited area, we can produce more number of crops and more quantity of produce. Next. For mechanization and automation technology. Friends, we have been talking about difficulties in agriculture. And one of the most important difficulty is availability of skilled laborers. So this has created a lot of havoc in agriculture sector, and mechanization has become an inevitable requirement for agriculture sector. And if you look at small farms, big farms, everywhere we need laborers. So for mechanization, use of tractors, use of machines, use of threshers, use of harrowing machines, use of combined harvesters, use of sprayers, use of drones, all these things are coming under mechanization and automation. Both for mechanization as well as automation, they are the most important innovations which can really bring changes, innovations, revolutions in agriculture sector. Next. Livestock farming technology. This is one of the important, allied income generating activity in agriculture sector. And small farmers used to keep 1 or 2 animals earlier, and then spend a lot of labor on taking care of these animals. And if you look at the big dairy farms, now they are just maintained or managed by 1 or 2 people. This is a very interesting technology. In this case, the entire animals are fitted with remote sensors. And these sensors, they help the managers in understanding the health of the animals, how much they are eating, how much they have been fed, how much milk they have given, what is their health condition. The entire thing is monitored. They are linked to the computer system, and every day, every minute, their health is maintained, their activity is maintained. And thus, and thus the dairy livestock farming technology is becoming completely automatized, and two people, three people can manage thousands of cows, thousands of buffaloes with the technological innovations. So simple sensors fitted to the animals, especially they fit those sensors to the ears of the animals, and these sensors provide the complete data and the important digital analysis of the data coming from each of the animal will help in management of the animals in a very different way, and this will help the dairy managers to take quick decisions. For example, out of 1,000 animals, if 10 animals are not keeping well, they will just separate them out and get the treatment, whatever is required for them. Next, please. Greenhouse farming technology. Greenhouse farming technology is one of the most important technology, which is now gaining a lot of importance. And this helps in maintaining controlled conditions within the production environment. The greenhouse technology provides a very required ecosystem for the crop production, and especially this is extremely good for producing high value vegetables and high value crops, especially vegetable crops, or even you can use it for flower crops. So in case of greenhouse technology, the entire environment is maintained, controlled, water is given through drip system or sip system or through hydroponic systems, and the environment, the especially temperature is maintained. If there is any fall in the rise in the temperature, they will start the foggers and bring down the temperature. And in many of the cases I have seen, even at the top of the greenhouses, they fit them with the solar panels, so that whatever energy that is required by the greenhouse is also produced by the solar panels. So greenhouse technology, especially for protected cultivation, is one of the most important innovation in agriculture. Next, please. Shade house technology. Shade house technology is gaining more and more importance, especially in case of high temperature zones, wherever we have more sunshine. So there the production of certain crops which require less light is very, very impossible. So shade house technology has provided solutions to such situations, wherein we can produce less light consuming plants or crops in high light zones. So this is another important technology that can bring revolution in agriculture sector. Next. So of late we have started talking about precision agriculture. We talk about use of sensors. We talk about using remote sensing. We talk about high positioning, high precision positioning systems. We talk about geo mapping. We talk about integrated electronic communication systems in agriculture. We talk about variable rate technology in agriculture. We talk about steering systems. You name anything in agriculture that can be precisely done. You talk about how much water to be applied in a given time. It will fix up the rate and automatically it will apply. So thus, precision agriculture technology has really made the agriculture sector more precise, more innovative, more productive, and you can produce more by spending less inputs in this. So this technology, precision technology involving several different technologies, has really been very helpful and effective to the farmers to produce high quality export oriented crops in the system. Next. Blockchain technology. See, of late, the consumers are demanding. They would like to know from where the particular produce has come. For example, I belong to a very famous coffee growing belt that's called as Coorg, Kodagu in Karnataka. So if the Kodagu coffee is to be sold somewhere in America or somewhere in Europe, they would like to trace its origin from where it has come. So blockchain technology comes very handy to the consumers to understand, to know from where the coffee has come from, what sort of technology has been used in producing the coffee, and how much energy has been consumed, which farmer has produced. All such things can be used, mapped through blockchain technology. And this has become a very innovative technology in quality maintenance, quality control. Next. I need not have to talk much about artificial intelligence in agriculture. In every sector, whether it is production, whether it is processing, whether it is monitoring, whether it is disease control, whether it is pest control, whether it is disease identification, whether it is harvest index mapping, or name anything in agriculture, AI has come very handy to agriculture sector. So artificial intelligence has become an necessary tool in agriculture production. Thus, AI in the days to come will bring revolution in agriculture unless my farmers are trained to understand how this can be effectively used in agriculture. So there is a need for all agriculture scientists, people like you, to support farmers to understand artificial intelligence in agriculture. It is a very, very innovative, support system in agriculture that can help farmers in revolutionizing their entire agricultural production. Next. Friends, we have heard about bees, honeybees. Honeybees have been there to help the farmers with regard to pollination. In most of the cases, majority of the percentage of pollination is brought by honeybees with use of lot of chemicals, with use of lot of sprayers. The number of honeybees, the population of honeybees has come down. And then we have been now looking at improving the honeybee population, bringing back the lost glory of agriculture in agriculture. But apart from that, we're also trying to look at the alternatives. Now drones are being used in agriculture as an alternatives to serve the purpose that were served by the honeybees. So some of the drones, they're just helping the pollination process. So thus this is an important technology. May not be very appreciable in Indian context, but in some countries, drones are now being used as an alternative to, promote pollination, bring natural pollination as such that was brought about by the honeybees, especially in case of very harsh environments, where temperatures are very high, where the bees are not able to survive under such circumstances, to facilitate effective pollination. Drones can be used to serve the purpose of bees in such cases. So this is a very interesting innovation that is there in agriculture sector. Next, please. You have been into agriculture sector, you know about these simple, cost-effective materials. We use them in insect trapping. We use these pheromone traps, we use light traps, we use many other cars and other things. So basically simple technologies without using any chemicals in trapping the insects. We are trying to use these, light traps, pheromone traps and other things. So they are the best, traditional but the technological innovations in trapping insects in a natural way that help the farmers to promote the health of the crop and thus reduce the impact of insects on crop production. So this is a very important, cost-effective, natural technology to help the farmers to reduce the cost on plant protection and also help in producing high-quality crops. Next. We have been talking about breeding for high yielding HYVs, high yielding varieties. And when we were students, we were talking only about hybrids, hybridization, different technologies in that. But of late, apart from hybridization, we are now talking about biofortification. What exactly is the biofortification? Basically, enriching our food crops with the nutrients. So, for example, if you take, I was in ICRSAT for some time. I was working there as a scientist. There we had lot of, pearl millet. We had lot of, sorghum, especially pearl millet was biofortified with iron and zinc. So that will help the people who are deficient in iron and zinc. So automatically, this is a very natural way to address malnutrition in people, especially in case of women and the children. So biofortification has been a great innovation in addressing the malnutrition. So look at the impact that can bring in the population. Basically, in case people are deficient in iron and zinc, you have to supplement them through a lot of nutritional supplements. You have to give them a lot of injections, and these people will also be succulent, or they will be susceptible for several diseases. So under such circumstances, one innovation of biofortification can really address such issues of malnutrition across the globe. I always consider this as one of the most important innovation in agriculture that will help in nutrition security, not just the food security across the globe. Next, next slide, please. Generating fresh water with solar technology may not be very relevant technology for Indian context as of now. But if you look at countries like Israel and other countries, wherein water is one of the most scarce commodity, there they are trying to use the solar technology to purify water and use it for agricultural production. So fresh water is generated using the solar technology, and that water is used for quality agriculture and horticulture production. So maybe in the days to come, this will become one of the most important technology in agriculture production. Next, please. 3D farming technology. This is a very, very important technology now being very popular in American context. US is now looking at harnessing the 3D farming technology. So this is production of crops, basically the high value crops under controlled condition, wherein you have different layers of production in the dimension. So you produce crops in different layers, in different stacks, one laid one over the other. You can make use of controlled application of water. That's another dimension we are trying to bring in here. Application of nutrients, exact nutrients, what is required. You can even monitor the quality of the crop. What is required in that crop, only that much is fed into the system. We don't have any pollution system here. No pollution, zero pollution. And then if there is a controlled, if there is a light deficiency, we can give it. And you can produce it day and night, because you can reduce the entire duration of crop production. So this is an important three-dimensional farming technology, which is now slowly penetrating into Indian farming and gaining the importance, especially around and across the cities. So 3D farming technology is one of the most important, technology being used in, US for production of high-value vegetables. Next, weather forecasting technology. Friends, this is one of the most important technology in agriculture production. And farmers, they lose their crops. They produce very interesting crops, maybe with a small, accidental rain coming up, it can spoil the entire crop. So again, I quote the example of Karnataka state. Karnataka state is one of the most important states across the globe to have highest number of meteorological stations with with high tech and internet connected system. It gives the prediction for every 15 minutes. Can you imagine? For every 15 minutes, you can have the weather prediction. You can have prediction for 6 months, 3 months, monthly, once in 15 days, every week, every day, every hour, every 3 hours, every 15 minutes also you can have the weather prediction. And this is available for every 7-kilometer difference. So this is one of the most important technological innovations that can give warnings to the farmers. Friends, we are going to have a big flood after 7 days, 10 days. So they can, take care what precautions to be ensured. In accidental floods, what sort of tragedy it brings to the people. We have been seeing tragedies brought about by floods across the country, and these are very, very, very unpalatable. Nobody can accept them. They bring a lot of tragedy to the people. People lose their lives, lose their livestock, lose their properties, lose valuables, everything. So such weather forecasting technology, if this is made available across the country in a very precise way, this can be one of the most important innovation in agriculture sector that can help the farmers in protecting their crops, in protecting their livestock, in protecting their lives, taking precautions. This can be one of the most important aspect. Next, we have been talking about hydroponics. Hydroponics is nothing but production of high valuable crops by recycling the nutrient rich water. Hydroponics, wherein this is a soilless farming technology. We don't use soil here. We use the nutrient water that's being circulated. You can see the small drum-like systems below the plants, and that is the place where the nutrient-rich water is circulated, and roots will be floating in that nutrient-rich water, and whatever nutrients they wanted, they take. So this is called as hydroponics. We don't use soil here. Same water is recycled again and again. Plants take up whatever the nutrients they want, and there is no loss of water, no pests, no diseases, and there is nothing like soil-borne pests and diseases. This is one of the most important high-tech farming technology that can really produce high value vegetable crops. Next, this is another important soilless culture, wherein we don't use soil here. You can see the roots that are coming here. In this case, this is called as aeroponics. The nutrient rich water is sprayed to the roots in the air, and that is taken up by the plants, and then plants produce. Basically, in case of potato seed production and all, such technologies are used, and aeroponics is now becoming very popular in case of high value or export oriented crops. Next, this is another one called as aquaponics. This is another soilless farming. In this case, the plants are produced with a water that is enriched with the fecal material of the fish, and that water is fed to the crops. Crops take up the fecal material of the fish, and they purify the water, and that water is again recycled back to the fish. So fish enrich the water with the fecal material, and that fecal material rich water is fed to the plants. Plant take up that material, they produce high value crops, and then the purified water is again recycled. So we call this as aquaponics, wherein we call this is aquaculture, as well as we produce the fish here. So this is another important innovation in agriculture and fish production, by using the same water twice by different enterprises of agriculture. Next, please. Friends, we have been talking a lot about institutional innovations. What innovations is this? This is called as institutional innovation. Farmer producer organizations are nothing but the institutional innovations in collectivizing small and marginal farmers. Friends, you are aware, Indian agriculture is dominated by small and marginal farmers who own less than 1 to 2 hectares of land, and they are close to 80 to 83% in Indian agriculture. They face several challenges in agriculture, whether it is procurement of inputs, whether it is fetching of the technology, whether it is field support, whether it is processing support, whether it is crop storage, whether it is marketing of the thing of the produce, or it is processing, value addition, packing. You name any sector, there are several challenges being faced by the small and marginal farmers. So the farmer producer organizations, this is one of the innovative institutional mechanism that can help small and marginal farmers to come together. They come together in the form of a big institution. These are nothing but the institutional innovations. Friends, we are aware of the cooperative sector. Cooperative sector has its own limitations in collectivizing the farmers. But in this case, in 2013, we amended the Indian Companies Act by incorporating certain clauses into it and then permitting the farmers to register their organizations as companies. So these are nothing but the hybrid institutional mechanisms wherein FPOs have all the qualities of a cooperative system, but they also bring the qualities of private sector. You know how private sector does the business. So in this case, any farmer group can they can register under Companies Act and they can just do business as the private sector companies do. Friends, the most important qualities of the farmer producer organizations is these are the organizations, these are the institutional innovations wherein nobody other than a farmer can become the member of an FPO. Point number two, all the shareholders are the farmers. Government will not put any government shares into this. No private company can come and become a partner in this. So the farmers are the shareholders, farmers are the owners, farmers are the managers of this company. They are very, very helpful in procuring good quality inputs, procuring good services, in procuring good implements, providing custom hiring services to the small and marginal farmers, helping the farmers to complete their agricultural operations in a very short window that has been given by the agriculture sector. They help in storing the produce in the good godowns. They help in processing, value addition, marketing, everything on behalf of the farmers. This farmer producer organizations are doing it. You must be aware there are few states, for example, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh are some of the states where farmer producer organizations have done wonderful activities. If you take the example of Karnataka state, we have close to 1,250 plus farmer producer organizations which are promoted by both central and state governments. The state of Karnataka has come out with an institutional mechanism, a policy for FPOs. So that is one of the important states in the country. In 2018 itself, it has come out with a policy. It has also set up a center of excellence for farmer producer organizations to train them, handhold them, guide them, in help them in making business propositions. You may not be wondering, few of our FPOs are doing business more than 10 to 15 crores annually. So that is the stage some of the FPOs in Karnataka are doing. Why I am trying to tell this here is farmer producer organizations are one of the most important institutional innovations. All of us in agriculture sector, we should understand this component in depth and see how best we can guide the small farmers to come together. So that is one mechanism to address their challenges in agriculture sector, whether it is production sector, procurement, whether it is marketing of their produce, processing of their produce, value addition. FPOs are the institutions which can address all the challenges of the farmers. So friends, being in agriculture sector, it's my advice to all of you. Please try to understand these innovations. I have been talking about several technological innovations, several innovations which are helpful in addressing the water issues, the production issues, quality issues, technological issues. And this is one of the most important institutional innovation in addressing small farmers' problems, especially in marketing and other aspects. So this is one of the most important innovation in agriculture, I should say. And all of you should in depth understand this and then guide the farmers in a very genuine way so that they become strong members of the FPOs in the days to come. Next, please. Friends, we talk about e-marketing. Again, I take the example of Karnataka because Karnataka has been a pioneer in e-marketing. And only after the example of Karnataka, the national government took it, the central government took it and then established with ENAM, National Agricultural Marketing. Electronically, the produce is marketed across the state. In the state of Karnataka, we started with REMS, REMS, REMS. REMS is Rashtriya E-Market Services. This has more than 40,000 plus buyers on platform. They are the registered buyers. Farmer need not have to physically move his or her produce to the market. By sitting at home, by ensuring the quality of his or her produce, they can become the members of the e-market or Rashtriya e-market, and then quote the quantity that is available for sale, and then enter into the market. And then there are bidders for every different commodity. Bidding happens across different times in a day. And then a person sitting in Kashmir can bid for the produce in Karnataka. And a person who is sitting in Bangalore can buy the produce in Srinagar. So this is a e-market platform that will ensure the quality of the produce as well as the market. There are no intermediaries. There are no, commission agents in this. So this is one of the important mechanism to revolutionize the agricultural marketing system in the country, and we need to popularize this. This is a very simple mechanism, but we need to help the farmers to register. Everything is free, and they can sell their produce for a better crop, for a better price. And the person who finalizes the price, for example, I have 10 quintals of groundnut with me, and a person sitting in Delhi, uh, uh, Pratibha sitting somewhere, she can bid for my crop, for my produce. If the price quoted by her is acceptable to me, I will say yes, and the business gets ceased, and she will in turn transfer the money through the account and then pick the produce and transfer the amount into the farmer's account. So there is no cheating. There is no, I mean, if you place a wrong quality, so if you say that my crop is a grade 1 quality, grade 2 quality, but when they come and see it is a third or fourth grade, then there is a conflict. So you are supposed to quote the right quality when you put it for the tender. So these are some of the innovations. E-marketing can be one of the most important innovation in agriculture to address all the marketing issues in agriculture sector. Next, please. So I stop here. I have tried to, put forth before you about 2025 innovations in agriculture, whether they are technological innovations, institutional innovations, service innovations, quality related innovations, market related innovations. And I hope I have tried to make few new things to come to you. And I stop here. And if you have any questions, you're welcome to ask me. And because of paucity of time, because this is just for a 45 minutes and then 15 minutes question and answers, uh, because for each technology I need 1 hour to deal with each technology.
So that's not problem, sir. If you want, sir, you can carry on.
No, no,
That's not problem.
no. Why I'm saying this? I have tried to give a summary of these innovations in agriculture, and we can discuss. And in case you need any more information about each of these technologies, I should be happy to share with you. And my only suggestion to all budding agriculture scientists who have been part of this FDP, friends, see, agriculture is one sector that can bring revolution in the entire nation, and you are the pillars for this revolution, and you should take this as a passion for you. It is not just a profession, it's a passion. It should become a passion for every one of you, so that we work with small and marginal farmers. Look at the difficulties, look at the challenges my farmers are facing, and with your committed service to them, we can definitely address, we can make farmers feel proud. And I also want my farmers to go in a Ferrari. I want my farmers to be there in Ferrari. Recently, we are now talking about production of pomegranates in Karnataka. In one of the programs very recently, I felicitated about 25 farmers who are crorpatis now. by just producing pomegranate. And many of them have produced pomegranate worth 4 crores, 5 crores, such a matter of pride for us. So we want more and more such crorepati farmers to be there. We want agriculture to be the most respected, profession. And I also tell you, before I close, I tell you, as long as sun and moon is there, as long as there is humanity there, as long as there are people are there, agriculture is there. Without agriculture, no culture. It is the mother of all cultures. So you have been very passionate. You have been very, I should say, you are the pride, sons and daughters of agriculture. And it is your responsibility. You have a very important responsibility onto your shoulders to guide the farmers and hold them, support them. And that is where you can make your life worth living. With this, I stop here. Any questions? You're welcome.
Thank you so much, sir. And the mentor and the advisor like you, the person will get good heights in every time. आपके जैसा सर अगर मेंटर एडवाइजर हो तो फार्मर्स एंड हमारे जैसे यंग जो है और भी हमारे कंट्री को बहुत आगे लेके जाएगा एंड मेकिंग द अलाइनमेंट ऑफ कंट्री एज अ विकसित भारत 2047. So it will only possible if we can do.
No, we have to do it. I work with close to 15 lakh farmers in Karnataka, right?
Sure, sir.
So we need to guide them, help them, handhold them. That's why we are all here, right? It is not just to live our life. It's not worth
Sure,
it.
sir.
You have to help a large number of farmers, especially the small farmers, poor farmers, who are struggling to stay in agriculture. There is one report coming from the sample survey organization. Given an opportunity to small and marginal farmers, they want to move out of agriculture, right? They want to serve as any servant in a small organization, which is not advisable to the Indian sector, because 50% of the food produced in India is coming from small and marginal farmers. At any given point of time, we cannot afford to lose these small and marginal farmers out of agriculture. And the challenge to all of us here, how do we make small farming, marginal farming more profitable? How do we retain the interest of small farmers in agriculture? That's very important. And this is a big challenge. This is a most respectful service that one can render to the society, right? Yes, Jai Kisan has raised his hand. Any question, Jai Kisan?
Sir, good evening, sir. I am Ramesh from Karnataka. So,
Ramesh ji, please tell me. Namaskara. Please tell me.
Yes, sir. My classmate Basuraju was your colleague at FEO, sir.
Center of Excellence.
I came there thrice. I could not meet you. I was not there at the time. So it is a great honor to have you on this forum, sir. You are doing a tremendous job. Really, we are proud of you. So really, lakhs of farmers are benefited by your services, and we are also motivated by your speech. And definitely, all this forum, the young scientists, definitely they will excel in their field with your noble advice. So great honor, sir. I wish you all the best and happy Ganesh Chaturthi.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Any other questions, friends?
This blockchain, sir, I wanted to ask. How can we, this a lot of coffee planters I am getting in connection, because I am also a small coffee planter. So see, a lot of companies, they are exporting. Some planters having 500, 600 acres, they are now exporting on their own brand. How this blockchain technology can help them to scale up their volumes or branding in the international market?
A very important question. See, if you look at the entire the ecosystem in Kodagu, Chikmagalur, and Hassan, we have majority of the small farmers who own less than 5 acres of land.
Yes, yes.
There are a lot of farmers, because though I am vice chancellor of a traditional university, I keep going to farmers, talking to them, visiting them. See, they end up in selling their produce to a big aggregator.
Yes, yes.
They never get into the entire marketing system. So the challenge with us is, how do we aggregate these farmers into a farmer producer organization and bring them together? So these 3 acres, multiplied by 1,000 farmers, that becomes a 3,000 acres. And there you can have a common facility center. whether it is procuring, whether it is procurement, processing, whatever you say. But individually, a small farmer cannot do it.
Yes.
It's very difficult for a small farmer to do anything. He will just harvest and then, sometimes they even dry it, they just go and sell it to the aggregators. There are, aggregators who are trying to grab the majority of the profit, and then as good as the other companies, they do it. So people like us have to guide these small end farmers, marginal farmers with the 2 acres, 3 acres, 1 acre, 4 acres, 5 acres, come together. They can set up common facility centers. They can bargain with these big companies. They can establish their own brands. We have helped some of the tribal farmers to do it.
Yes.
They have been doing it now. And Coffee Board is trying to do. And there was one project under tribal welfare department. So all this is being done. But this is being done in bits and pieces. We need to do it in a bigger way, in a consolidated way, so that we address these issues in Kurg area. I'm trying to talk to a lot of. Recently, we had one farmers meet in Kushalnagar.
Okay.
I was telling them, please come together. If you are, kept away, you will remain like that. So they have to come together. Understand? They have to forget all their differences. They have to come only under one umbrella of, coffee farmer. That is how they can progress to achieve good results and good profits.
Because see, these coffee planters, they are well organized, well educated, well organized. They are having their own planters club. Easily we can pull them under one platform. So I am based at Chikmagalur, sir. Definitely I will work in this line. At least one taluka, I will try to mobilize this.
Please do that. And since I will be there in Kodagu for another 2.5 years.
Yeah, I'll meet.
Till I complete my tenure as a vice chancellor, I'll be there till March 2027. If I can be of any help to you, especially in organizing these coffee farmers, we should be very happy to do that for you.
Yes, because this is grown under shade tree, they are unable to do this mechanized, sir. Drones and all, they are unable.
Now we are now trying to establish a drone center at Kodagu University to specially train some of the people to take up some of the activities in coffee. It is a challenge.
Yes, sir.
Because of the shade trees and all.
Okay.
But how do we train them? That we are making an effort.
So then I need your support, sir. I want to employ some 10 agri-diploma graduates and train them as a drone pilots. I want to start one agri-business consultancy in e-commerce company next 2005, sir. Another 6 months. Sir.
No, you can see me sometime in Kodagu. Meet me.
Yes, sir.
And now we are trying to set up a drone center. We have already applied for DGC our license.
Okay.
As soon as it comes, we will start. You can take those people who are trained there.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much.
Welcome. Yes, Siddhant Ray, any questions for you?
No, sir, I don't have any questions.
Sir, I think one question has asked from UAE, engineer Imran Arshad.
बताइए क्या क्वेश्चन है?
He asked that how can farmers use innovative practices to reduce water and fertilizer usage without compromising yield, especially in the arid region like UAE?
Very interesting question, my dear friend from United Arab Emirates. I have suggested 2-3 technologies. Basically, we talked about, automation in micro-irrigation. Earlier, we used micro-irrigation only to apply water. Now, the entire system is mechanized. We can use irrigation, especially micro-irrigation, drip irrigation for application of nutrients, wherein you can have a very designed control on how much nutrient to apply without any loss of it. So this is both water saving, nutrient saving, and you are directly applying it to the root zone. So that's very, very beneficial. So the automated micro irrigation technology can be one of the most important technology that can be used in United Arab Emirates to reduce water as well as nutrient application, as well as use it very precisely in crop production. You can pass on my number to him. In case he wants any further information, he can reach me. Okay.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. I will give your contact to him.
Yeah,
and
he can approach.
Yeah.
take the reference of
He
this
mentions
page.
that thanks for answering my query. And another question from Swapnil Dhumal. So Swapnil Dhumal ji, you can also ask your question from your side. You can switch on your camera and you can unmute your mic and you can directly ask question to our Honorable Vice Chancellor sir from Kodagu University.
Dear participants, you all are allowed to open your mic. So you can open your mic and ask your questions directly to the sir.
So Swapnil Dhumal's question is, what do you think about shifting cropping pattern from agronomical crops to horticulture crops? Is it alarming for food grains? Very interesting question, Swapnil, you have asked. See, if you look at the current trend, most of the farmers are now going towards horticulture. Why this is happening? We discussed about in my first slide, I talked about lack of skilled labor. If you take the example of cotton picking, you need lot of labor. Paddy planting, you need lot of labor. Now we have slowly the mechanization is coming up. So, especially in case of small farms, wherein people want to make good profits, they are slowly shifting to horticulture production. And definitely, I mean, big farmers are there to help us in doing it, but we need to be very cautious. We need to be very, very, intelligent in deciding how much crop should go under how much area. This is very important in most of the advanced countries, developing countries. People restrict so much of area to be put under horticulture crops, so much of area to be put under agriculture crops. So I don't think the fast shift will happen. This will happen over a period of time, but with certain management, with certain restrictions put on that, we can definitely strike a balance between agriculture and horticulture crops.
Sir Ashok sir, one more thing. Now this agri-ecotourism is blooming like anything. So this sector, a lot of youth they are unaware of. A lot of training is required in this hospitality industry so that they can earn extra income from the existing farm holdings.
I would suggest you please reach me. We will organize one program on ecotourism or
Yes.
agri-tourism or horticulture tourism, coffee tourism or wine tourism. You name whatever it is required.
Yeah.
People, no, we will
Yes,
we
yes.
will do it from our university free
Great.
of cost. We'll do it to the people. Let the youth understand there are a lot of schemes from the center and the state government.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And for example, if you have a 10 acres of coffee plantation, you can talk about coffee tourism. You can. This is a wonderful concept. I'm telling you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And if you look at the number of visitors coming to Kodagu, Chikmagalur, and Hassan, it's enormous.
Yes, sir.
And you can very systematically popularize such tourist concept. We are now talking about medical tourism in Coorg also.
Okay,
That's
Ayurveda
one-
related, sir. That's wellness related.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Medical tourism. Basically, people come for operations from entire Middle East. People come to India for operations.
Okay, because of
Post
the cost.
operations, they need to undergo checkup for every week. They cannot go back to their country and come back. And that time they don't need a much medical care. Under such circumstances, these people are routed through medical tourism systems. So they stay here for 2 weeks. They enjoy the nature. They get good food. Whatever is advised by the medical people, that food is provided. They are kept in an extremely good environment, and they get well. They go back.
Okay.
I'm just quoting one example.
Okay.
Like this, you have several opportunities. If you are really interested, we can organize one program for that.
Sure, sir. I know some hundreds of people, sir, who are the software engineers during COVID, they lost their job. They came back to
Yes.
Chikmagalur, Coorg, Hassan. Now they are earning a minimum 5 to 10 lakhs per month in the tourism industry. Really, it's agriculture. Their roots, they have now they are taking care of their livelihood.
No, I mean, those were the advantages brought
Yeah.
about by COVID.
Yes.
Yeah.
Blessing in
Any
disguise.
other questions, friends?
Yes, sir. There is a question that production cost per kg is higher for aquaponics. How it can be reduced?
Pardon me? One, can you please repeat?
Yeah, sure, sir. Production cost per kg is higher for aquaponics. So how it can be reduced?
I tell you, if we are talking about innovations in agriculture, any innovation should be user friendly, it should be cost effective, it should address the challenges faced by you. Otherwise, it's not a challenge, it's not an innovation. So in case of aquaponics, if you have access to plenty of water, if you have been using fish production, this is very, very, very much possible. And if you look at the Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana, a lot of facilities being given by the central government. You can make use of that, establish the fish ponds and fish infrastructure. Then you don't need much cost after that. Initially, I agree, but for that, there are schemes, both state and central governments, especially the central government's, Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana, that will help the farmers to set up the fish culture farms, and they can be converted into aquaponics.